Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2, where I have the pleasure of introducing, for the first time in quite a while, the best Terran player in the Americas. From Mexico, it is Special, up against the #1 ranked player in the entire region. From the United States of America, the Protoss in the blue, the Battle Mage, Astrea. Making great strides lately in putting NA back on the map, charting a course towards victory, but he's got quite a crafty opponent. I would put Special as one of the most interesting players, at least historically. He's been one of the few Terran players looking to kind of create his own meta. For better or worse, usually better, but sometimes noticeably worse. I'm talking like mech against Protoss kind of styles that don't always work out. But if you like something a little different, something maybe not perfectly optimized, but instead creative and focused on catching your opponent off guard, well then, I failed. Because you already expected me to say, like and subscribe. Jimmy, what are we at? We're at 1,030. If we get 1,000, can we do better? Can we do better? 1,035 likes on this video, and I'll cast another one. I'll cast another series. Probably tomorrow. And I'll probably do it anyways. But don't disappoint Jimmy, because most of his life is a disappointment. So it'd just be, you know, a little depressing. Anyways, you know what else is depressing? Losing 2 probes to a Reaper when you've gone 2-gate Adept and proxy to Pylon. Not an auspicious start for Astrea in this best-of-5 series, as everything has been scouted out. Special has his command center on the high ground. There's a Cyclone on the way. Overall, should be well defended against any sort of shenanigans Astrea can put on the field. But what's it going to be? It's Blink. There's a proxy Pylon out there as well. Cyclone helps take out the Adept. Now, proxy Pylon is definitely keeping options open. I don't think Astrea is super committed to any sort of all-in. In fact, he has an expansion even more quickly. So, doesn't need to do critical damage right now. Though, ideally, and Protoss players kind of go back and forth with Terrans. Occasionally, Terrans will get greedy enough to build the command center on the low ground, maybe go without a bunker. Recently, we've seen a lot more of the double gas sort of plays, heavy tech from Terran, who are comfortable to chill on the high ground here. And it looks like Special knows Astrea pretty well, and I say that because he scouted out, well, he was looking probably for some adepts or whatever he could find out there, but finding a pylon, a single lone pylon. Curious. Concerning, but not a cause for outright alarm, I think, because the Reaper already scouted that there is, yeah, the expansion's already done, though he didn't see the Twilight Council. So, you know, he may very well think Dark Templar or something along those lines. Well, we already have Flying Dark Templar, effectively, on the field. I remember the old debates in Wings of Liberty. There was a heated and dramatic debate, and we debated these things, not just in Twitch chat, because one, Twitch chat didn't exist. Okay, Grandpa, tell me more about Ustream. Shut up, I'm talking. Anyways, yes, whether or not Banshees were fair, that they could be Flying Dark Templar. Because, you know, they both cloak and kill workers. And how far we've come. Widowmines now exist. So, I think, Terrans came out ahead of that one at the end of the day, though they'd never admit it. Speaking of, 4 kills on the first Banshee. And gets out, and the Observer will now watch it menacingly. Yes, right up the tailpipe there. That's a Banshee. 4 kills. And honestly, this is quite rough for Astrea, who, oh, it's a disaster. Oh god, it went from not great to terrible, as now the Banshee's still at the back. The War Prism is dead. If he gets this Banshee, that's something. That's something. Is that enough for Special to turn around? Apparently. But the War Prism that could potentially keep Special pinned at home just gunned out of the sky, flew right over the army. Because the Observer he recalled was very likely, I don't know exactly where it was, but it was likely not at home. So thus, the Observer that was probably going to be used to scout this army and keep the War Prism alive. So this series of unfortunate events continues for Astrea, but He's not out of it yet, as he still has a bunch of Blink Stalkers. He's got a third base. And if Special sits... Oh my god. Okay, well, just hanging out on the high ground there. If Special sits back long enough, Astrea can bounce back into it. But it definitely is. He's got very little margin for error here. Astrea has his third up and running. A couple of Depths waiting for their opportunity. Marine still standing by. Banshee still being watched very closely, keeping a couple Stalker guards pinned. But the Observer into the main. The Stalker is looking to blink up. There's actually no units here. He could potentially get the Tech Lab researching Combat Shield. And that's a good start here for Astrea. Gets the Tech Lab, gets a Marauder. Oh my god, the Raven even? Ooh, takes a lot of damage for that last one. Finds the Observer. Oh my god, Special. Astrea kind of letting it a bit messy on both sides here so far. That Raven certainly didn't need to be in the line of fire, but Astrea is able to pick it off, takes the opportunity, loses his Observer though, so he can't get back into the base easily. Stim Pack is done. Special losing Combat Shield is a pretty big deal, especially considering Storm is on the way. Pretty rarely seen. Oh, Banshee is taken out. Special tried to sneak by with it, not gonna pan out. And overall, with Storm on the... Wait, does he scan a Templar? Did he see a Templar? He has not seen a Templar Archives. He has not seen Storm on the way. So he's got one shot, one opportunity to wash away the Marines and Marauders. Will he capture it, or will the Storms not land in time? We're going to find out, as a Warp Prism is on the way. While High Templar can always glide up in towards the army, the Warp Prism is usually the more reliable method. Storm, though, landing on those Marines without the Combat Shield, just so vulnerable. On top of the stims, you only have a half second or so to get out of the Storms before the Marines go down. The Combat Shield finishes, though, and enough of the Marines are still intact with the medevacs in the back. Widow Mines will burrow. Astrea still trying to close the distance, but the Marine count is too damn high. One siege tank on the back line, 3 medevacs, plus 1 attack is done, another Storm comes through. And Astrea, though, anything you don't kill is going to come back at near full HP. The Bio Ball is so much DPS and sustainability. The Blink Stalker's not quite enough to take down a precarious medevac full of units here. But the Widow Mines are going to recharge, and that's going to be another wave of difficulty. Takes down one. I don't believe there's an armory done. It was just on cooldown there, but a big Widow Mine hit, making things more difficult. Special stimming through, tearing up the entire Protoss army. Blink Stalkers, not enough for now. Trying to juggle back with the Prism, but that seems futile at best. Scans and kills the Observer here, so going to make Widow Mines that much more difficult to deal with. An Immortal pops out at a fortuitous timing. Might be able to blink out and saves. Oh my god, the retarget, and he got down the Prism. I don't know if that's worse than eating it with the Immortal, but without the Prism, he can't easily maneuver between his bases. So Special is keeping up the pressure, but somehow Astrea is still alive for now. Definitely a difficult situation for the American Protoss, but right now, still has a handful of units on the field, and that handful is more than enough to slap back the Marines and Marauders. Special probably getting a little bit too fancy for his own good. His units are strung out and sliced to pieces by the charge lots. 1-1 is done now for Special. And very importantly, he doesn't have a third command center. Does he not have a third CC at all? He does not. This is essentially a 2-base all-in, despite 56 SCVs. He starts a third command center on location now. Gonna go for the Reaper Wall. Possibly gets the Cyber Core, which means no more Stalkers. Though I'm not sure how important Stalkers are right now. That's definitely going to need to be rebuilt, alongside the pylon that was powering the rest. Thankfully, all the Twilight Council upgrades are done. Astrea at a precarious supply deficit right now. One bad fight, or even one mediocre fight, could decide the match at the moment. And, well, he hasn't really had a good one yet. Widow Mine drop into the main. Charge lots warped in to try to slice it up, but doesn't get either Widow Mine. Eats the hits, and some probes go down as well. A gateway itself taken out. Small charge lot counter. Warp Prism still intact. Not sure what hit it. That's a bit less damage than a Widow Mine would have done. It's possible a Widow Mine. Not 100%. Still at the back. The Liberators should be able to take it out. Well, does he have a recall? He does. Is it worth recalling the Prism? It's a little late to decide now. As another medevac goes down, but the Bio Army finds the 4th Nexus and blasts it to pieces. So Astrea knocked back down to 3 bases. He's managed to put a few more Templar on the field, but so far that's about it. As still just +1 armor upgrades against 1-1. The armory is completed. So Special now has those cloaked mines as well. The triple drop headed towards the main. Astrea still struggling to even find any sort of space here, let alone strike back. The Forge itself targeted down. The Bio Army blasting apart the Zealots. He picks up. Oh, they'll expect some of us in the wreckage, brothers. Well, a few units stuck behind. Small charge light counterattack. The reinforcements will deal with it. Spylons taken out. Liberators sieged up a Venn diagram of worker harassment. I'm not talking about Blizzard, though. So, Special making his way up towards the main. Liberator escapes. Well, incredibly annoying to deal with just the Blink Stalkers. Astrea refuses to die. There are Templar on the field. There's no Ghost yet, but they are in the production tab. Now even supply block. The Storms forcing the Ghost. The Bio Army just pushing itself up against the Nexus. Special supply gap continues to widen. And the Psy Storms just not quite enough to break through. Huge Storm softens up more of the Marauders. Ends up almost killing his own Observer there, unfortunately. Well, he doesn't actually kill it, so at the end of the day, that's something. Meanwhile, a drop in the main. Oh no, the Observer was taken out by a Widow Mine. The Templar taken out by the Marauders. The Storm will evaporate some of those Marauders. Another Storm into the main. Blink Stalkers chasing down, gets a full medevac. Special keeps stretching himself very thinly here. And that is allowing Astrea to take a surprising amount of wins on the field. Though 40 workers left against 62 SCVs and a 4th command center here. It is a... the Widow Mine's just... that feels like Special is role-playing Astrea here with that scan. I know he's just looking for what the army is, but... Ghost. There's a couple Templar in there. 1 or 2 good EMPs could, of course, make the difference. But the army supply gap is as small as it's ever been. As Astrea has held on, he's taken out some of those full medevacs. Oh my. A War Prism. EMP drops on the Zealots. War Prism going to be taken out. The Zealots warp it and then run away, which there's something incredibly amusing about that. Widow Minefield. The Minecraft gameplay right now from Special looking pretty good. Will eventually be cleared out by Astrea, who manages to get another Observer. Okay, stop it. Special. Come on. Come on, bro. Come on. What are you doing? Microing 1 Marauder. Bit insulting. Storms trying to get in before the EMP. As he does so, leaves behind the Nexus that'll be taken out immediately, as well as an Archon as well. Vikings already on the field, but beautiful Storms for the flank as Astrea wipes out the side of the map here, or the side of the army. Extended Thermal Lance has done another Colossus steps forward, but the Storms just blindsiding Special as he was closing in for a victory, but Astrea slips out again under cover of Storm. And yet again, Astrea lives. But at what cost? Still a Widow Mine out here. Nice micro. Stand right there, bro. Special is still Like, he's living. No, not Special. Astrea. Astrea is not dead. Special can't seem to land the killing blow. We got some full NA gaming right now. A trademark of North America, which is generally meandering towards the direction of a victory, but taking some unintentional detours in the process. Whether it was a good idea or not, trying some alternative strategies before you get to the end of the line. Unfortunately for Special, that means Astrea has built both flavors of splash damage here. He's got the Colossi and the High Templar, which have already been pretty solid thus far. The drop in the main, though, is going to stretch the gateway units incredibly thinly. Observer in place, taken out. Is there another observer over there? Indeed there is. But the medevacs in the main will be dealt with eventually. Is he doing a ghost drop? Okay. Oh, okay, Special. Alright, doing a ghost drop there. Getting real fancy. Another storm from the back, though. It's 190 to 117 supply. Astrea has a mountain to climb right now. And literally Special cannot build more. He's maxed out. So, he's got units strung throughout the entire map, and he will take game one. After a great effort. Astrea, oh, honestly, a bit of a demoralizing game one, I will say. He just kind of got off to the... Now, I want to... I'm going to put on my angry coach pantaloons. I can't show you. Maybe like and subscribe. And you know, you don't know about those subscribers only. But I will say, I've seen that 2-gate build several times from Astrea and other players. And I got to come out... I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Because it feels like against a Terran player who... builds... Essentially, if they don't build their command center on the low ground, you're behind. Almost no matter what. Because Adepts... mostly because Terran invented doors. So, the 2-gate build might be able to get you a sneaky win in game one. Honestly, Astrea lived a lot longer than he ever should have. Past that initial pressure. Special. It almost felt like he was playing with his food a bit. But he does have a tendency to be very multitasking oriented. We will see, though. Game 2 is not going to be that curious 2-gate, but instead, something a little more down the middle. Which... Where are you going, Special? That SCV is taking a key. Where are you going? Oh, no. Oh, no, it's going to be one of these. Here we go. Is he? He's gonna float that into the main. He's gonna float his good. Yep. Oh my god. I mean, I guess you could do a Hellion drop. It's one gas. Yeah. So the probe was not in the main. So it looks like a 1 Rex expand at this timing. Astrea should, well, that's what the probe should have seen. And that would usually mean there's a command center. Well, the Marine might give part of it away. Is he gonna float it? Astrea's looking for something. He's suspicious. Well, I have no idea. I wish... Well, these two have played each other, I'm sure, dozens of times, but... Yeah, there was something that triggered the alarm. Maybe the fact that he had a Marine first instead of a Reaper, so obviously. He's just gonna sit there? Oh, this is awkward. He keeps canceling out of whatever he's building here. I think in order to get the money back at home, I'm just not expecting this to do anything. The probe, like, that's not how it works. Okay, that's what... What am I watching? Well, a Hellion pops out. The Spylon. The ultimate Spylon. I'm just gonna hang out here, if you don't mind. Yeah? Let the probe watch. All right, well, this is happening. That's certainly one way of scouting. Okay, well now we're here. Overall, only one probe has died. That number's gonna be doubled momentarily, but... Yep, it's Hellions. Fallen. Wow. Okay, so medevac drop it is. Already with a shield better in the main. Astrea has an idea of the options on the table and is covering for most of them. Observer coming out. I think both. Was the medevac spotted? Nope. The observer coming back. Medevac is spotted now. Hits the boost. Stalkers coming in. And another well, the Immortal's about to pop out. Very fortuitous timing. So... Oh, the factory's gone. Pylon cannot fly, unfortunately. Oh, beautiful force field, actually. Anything that keeps 3 Hellions from getting by, because 3 Hellions is how many you need to kill probes in a single volley. Oh. So, devastation averted. Astrea with a strong defense on all fronts here in this... I keep saying curious because that's... I feel like curious is a nice fancy way of saying I'm not sure if this is good or dumb, and I think it's dumb, but I can't say with authority. So curious it is. I gotta... Shout out to my curious viewers. And their great strategies. Like and subscribe. Engineering bay on the way. I have no idea where we go from here. Astrea has decided he's just going to go across the map. See what happens. Banshee. But there's already a shield battery, which makes the Banshee significantly less... those Stalkers aren't quite walled in. The Banshee, especially with only one uncloaked Banshee, the shield battery is a defense against it, as it will reshield the probes before anything else can really happen. Oh my god, he's doing the force field thing! Well... how do you like it, Special? I love it. I'll tell you how I like it. I like it a lot. He deserves this. He uses an auto turret. Special... Oh my. Is he gonna go pick the Marines up into the main? Alright, slurps them up. Targeting the medevac. Well, it's getting messier. Here we go. Okay, here's the Banshee. SCVs, he still has enough energy. He's got the medevac. Okay, there's enough zealots here. I think Astrea wins. Yeah, there's not 18 SCV, still some units. GG, says Special. Good game. Somehow hits the lowercase and uppercase G. And, well, we're all tied up. That was... Of all the games of StarCraft I have ever cast, that was one of them. So, all tied up. Moving on. I truly want to know. He definitely wanted to float in the main. Yeah, he did. 100%. Put your votes in the comments. There's no way you just sit there, Bill Hellions. That would have been so... He wanted... You cheesy Terran. Well, so that certainly sets the tone of the city. Jimmy, please. Game 3. Dragon Scales. I haven't been casting enough North America lately. Or I guess it's technically Americas. It's kind of interchangeable. Americas. We count all the beautiful countries in the Americas. Or in the NA region. Like Brazil, Australia, Singapore. If you've ever played on NA, you know all about those servers and how many hundreds of ping they bring. Though both of these players, I believe, are at home, aka their home countries. Though they've both competed in GSL before as well, in Korea. Special actually lived in Korea for several years. as well. So, quite some experience. But once they come back home, they embrace it. Yeah. I haven't seen someone force field the ramp in quite... Oh. Yeah, here we are. Astrea's like, well, I have a 100% success rate with slamming pylons to scout your buildings. Don't cancel it. Don't cancel it. Leave it. Yeah. So, what are you up to? The ultimate spylon. The most hidden pylon is the pylon that isn't. Don't. There's another probe out there. Curious. The Reaper will. Well, it doesn't run out of ammo, so. All right, Reaper scouts in. Did it see the Twilight? No. If he jams his face up against the edge, I'm pretty sure he can see the Twilight. But... Special, you could open the door and leave. Are you stupid? No. He wants to kill the pylon, obviously. I was just, in case you wonder if I'm insulting the players. If I'm insulting the players, I'll make it clear. I was, as the kids say, memeing. Okay? Which is what you say when you make a bad joke that might offend people and want to get away with it. That's the correct definition of memeing. I'm not even memeing. For real. Well, those grenades bouncing around more than your acceptance of my commentary. He just kind of walks up, bounces everything out of the way, comes up, kills 7 probes, loses everything. Why is there a probe in the base? What is going on? Dude, another pylon, Astrea. I don't care if you just lost a bunch. It's worth it. Even though there's about to be a... No, it's not worth it. Okay, well, how? Well, I mean, he just came in, but I know how, but it's not a literal point. Well, okay, so Blink, 2/3 of the way done. There's a Banshee and a tank coming up for when in doubt, just go back to the production tab, okay? There's a lot of doubt here. So, Robo nearly completed. More gates on the way for Astrea. Raven just now started. Door is closed. Wait, what? One Adept shades through. Guess he wanted to get a scout? Maybe whether the Cloak was researching for the Banshee? I think that's what that was for, and it wasn't a misclick, just leaving one of the Adepts to die. So Blink is completing. Observer on the way, some more pylons on the edges. Banshee just chilling. Special loves his rogue Banshees. He had so much success in the first game, but just throw a Banshee in there. They don't expect it. Rarely is there a shield battery. No cloak. So there's Blink though. Yeah, Banshee just targeting probes. Not even bothering to run away. He's shift-clicked it. This is completely intentional. Kills 6 more probes. So Astrea does have to do a lot of damage with this Blink attack here. There is just that single siege tank. Blinks in. He doesn't actually know where the tank is, but might be able to eat a hit with the Adept. Kind of a huge deal here. Only gonna get 1 shot off with the siege tank. Gets the auto turret. Special's now supply blocked, which is a disaster for him right now. As now without a siege tank in the back, he's not even building a tank. Oh no. Well, he does have a Cyclone. Now that Raven is very, very important to keep alive, but he does lose 11 SCVs, which is already enough to justify this so far. Astrea, he spots that, oh no, it unsieges. It unsieges. There's no more tanks on the way. He's not building any more tanks. He's trying to snipe off the Observer, but Blinks in 1. And Special isn't building any more tanks. Eats a hit with that forward blocks in. Gets the Raven before another auto turret. The Marauder is the last real threat here. More SCVs pulled off the line. Warping in some Zealots just for some meat shields here. With plenty of shields and meat indeed. And Astrea, once again, after Special tries some shenanigans, blinks into his bait. Well, I guess last game he didn't go blink, but the effect was the same. Well, here we are. Astrea up 2-1 after two games quicker than that first match. Okay, well, a bit of a roller coaster here. Special not quite covering his bases, and that's mostly literal. All right, going into potentially match point. Well, it is match point. I think you call it match point if somebody has one game from victory, no matter what. Like, we don't need to win it for it to be match point. And other things I say out loud that should have been said in my head and not pontificated. Now, Astrea's like 100% success rate with pylons. Like pylon guardsmen, all right? Pylon, the neighborhood pylon watch has been incredibly successful. Do it. 2 out of 2 games he won, he slapped a pylon next to one of the buildings. So, I'm just saying, is this the new big Protoss strat? It's just big pylon energy. I hope for the best. Do it. He's thinking about it, I'm sure. You don't get this far without thinking about it. Astrea. Yeah. There. Well, there's 2 gas here. All right, to actually talk about the builds. Sees the fact. Oh, there it is. There it is. Another pylon. Huge. All right, this one's in the bag for Astrea.
We got him.
That's all we needed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and then the probe dies to a Reaper. But if you're betting, that'd be kind of silly because this is it was already played. But I know where to place my bets at this stage. Astrea going for the 3-for-3 pylon Spylon Scout sweep here. Okay. If Terrans are able to get full vision of the base with scan, with Reapers so consistently, well, we got to find a way ourselves, fellow Protoss. Oh, the grenade bounces him out of the way. Beautifully done. Keeps him going for now. What? A second Reaper? Well, I guess he couldn't build a reactor. It's... ah. Okay, alright. I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited for one pylon. No one should be this excited.
Who does that?
For one pylon. He just... This is Astrea's vision. He just... Did he see the Widowmine? He was looking at the pylon. I went to his camera for a moment there. Yep, he knows. He's trying to hide it. The factory's close enough that he can actually see the Widowmine scamper out. Finally, the pylon may be taken out, but only after... Yeah, Astrea... Well, this is certainly another style. I don't know. Is this a good idea? It's working. Does that mean it? If it works, it means it's good. Sure. Well, Widowmine drop coming out. Astrea. Oh no, it's supply blocked because he oh my god! He's supply blocked because he lost the spotter pylon. Oh, and without it, he's not gonna have the observer in time for the Widowmine drop. Oh, full headache. Well, It's just the Robo this time around, not even going for blank. So no just walking across the map and trying to win the game. The Stalkers cannot fly, much to their dismay. There's still a Widow Mine, like... oh no, well... could have gone better. Gets out with 2 mines, flies off into the... I don't know if sunset is the right word here, but, you know, into the corner. And timeout. What? Special. I was like, oh. Is that a select all? I thought there was another pylon. That's a hallucinated Phoenix. He lost the Widow Mine drop medevac. That was unforced error, I feel. Yes. Yeah, you could see the Stalkers. The medevac has more vision range than the Stalkers do, so that definitely should have been something that was spotted. But now there's the Detective Boys pulled for a tank push. So this is Special's gambit now. And Astrea doesn't have much. He's got 6 Stalkers, 3 Sentries, well, an Immortal now. But that really, in the grand scheme of things, is not... Oh, well, and the Raven is gonna make it. A couple more Stalker hits required. Unfortunately, though, Astrea looking the wrong way. And now Special is bunkering his base. Well, here we go. Special with the tank bunker push. A hallucinated Archons. I love it. This is a wild series. Hallucinated Archons. Huge brain play. And it eats the tank hits. And the Marines, like, even if they know it's hallucinated, you still... Oh, it's so hard to deal with it. Though he loses the Nexus. I believe there's still a Liberator over here. Killing 8 probes. Oh, what a mess. So, all right. There's still a bunker. So Astrea loses a dozen probes. He lost 3 sentries and no other units, which is kind of crazy. Not great. Like, sentries are not the first unit you want to lose. Special does kill the base. What? Astrea's like, now I'm gonna go Void Race. Or what? What? I'm so like, this is... We were only like 69% NA before, but now we're going full NA. Put your likes and subscribes together for the most creative region in StarCraft 2. As now Astrea has decided he is going to switch to Sky Toss. He has 2 gateways. He's going mech. I have no idea what he's going to do. Is it really going to be a fleet beacon? Or are we going to see Void Rays? I don't think Void Rays are... No, there's a fleet beacon and a second star... Okay. I mean, it definitely can work. It's a kind of a crazy choice. But here we are. Special sending out double medevac, as well as setting up some auto turrets. The Colossus is revealed. Astrea is chrono boosting a Nexus that isn't building anything and also has its probes unrallied. Nailing it. Building some drop defense in the main. Spots it with the watchtower. Wow. Special has spun up his production much more quick. Are those Tempests? What is going on? Okay, so it's Tempest Disruptor. Which... Well, the only anti-air is Marines. Which just finished. Air weapons level 1 and combat shield finished at about the same time. A cannon's hitting the tank here. Immortal's on the front. Shield battery overcharged, but the battery itself might not last too long. Targets down 1 tank. Takes a bruising for it. The Bio Army. The Tempests are about to show up, much to everyone's confusion. So it takes approximately 4.03 Tempest shots with +1 to kill a siege tank. Disruptor was also there. The Tempest doing exactly what you expected to see, which is dying outright. Trying to target down some more tanks. He is baiting. I mean, it's kind of working, though he did have to give up the third base and the entire Nexus here. So I still haven't decided whether Astrea is throwing the game or not, but I guess the end of this will. He got the third again. Special now has a third, and more workers, and is building another starport. I'm sorry. I usually like to fill in some thoughtful analysis, or maybe a amusing diatribe or something at this point. But right now, I'm just staring at the production tab in the screen, and I'm filled with confusion. As we have 3 Tempests defending the Cyber Core, that's the Reaper wall, but is also gonna get targeted down. Meanwhile, the Marines just shrug off the Tempest shots as the tanks obliterate the Disruptors. And we continue to see, well, the Tempests are still alive, for the most part. But so remember in Game 1, where Special, the real struggle was actually winning the game. Like, Special was way ahead for much of the game, but he couldn't quite kill Astrea for quite a while. If I was to attribute probably way too much mind game strategy, Astrea's saying, as long as I don't die before I get a bunch of carriers. This is a very, like, Gold League 4v4 strategy, but here we are. If I don't die before I get a bunch of carriers, well then, maybe I can win. So that's where we are now. Speaking of, he's just targeting the Stargate, but the carrier comes out. He's gonna lose a Stargate. But another attack, and then here come the Vikings, knocking down a Tempest. Oh my god, the Disruptor as he just goes through the streets of shield batteries and clumps up his units. Special loses a ton, but I think this third Nexus is gonna die for the third time. The Vikings are here. There is no armory, actually, but the Nexus itself could be targeted. The hallucinated Archons. The Nexus is done. The Disruptor volley! The broadside! Wait! Where are Special's units? The floor was just cleared by the Raptors, and the carriers are still alive! Oh no, Special! It's a disaster! I don't... Oh, the classic. You can't... Ah! Oh, he's... Oh, no. Oh, no. This is the oldest mistake in all of StarCraft 2, which is the attacking into the death ball, because, like, I have enough units. It's fine. Well, there are still carriers, Colossi, and Astrea. Actually, if that base died, I think Special can continue throwing men into the meat grinder and the toaster oven, such as it is, indefinitely, or at least for the next, like, 20 minutes. But the base did not die. And now Astrea has not a great economy, but it is comparable. And more importantly, he has a bunch of carriers. So here we are. All right. Disruptor shots fired. And Special didn't get an armory. He didn't get ship weapons. He kind of stalled his upgrades there, trying to win outright. And that may very well... No, oh my god, what am I watching? Why, one, why is there a Tempest here? And two, why are the Vikings looking for it? What is going on? This is a Viking invasion? That's another continent, bro. The Vikings did not invade on this side, or the Americas. Or maybe they did, actually. I don't know. This is not a history reenactment. This is the future, okay? And the future is a bunch of dudes with drugs and guns gunning down massive alien capital ships that can't even repair themselves because they lost the technology so long ago. Speaking of those capital ships, though, this Tempest is going to severely inconvenience the Medivacs before they get into the main, even taking out, and then also cannons. Meanwhile, a Liberator... Oh my god, I haven't seen a match more NA than this one in quite a while. The Vikings hanging out in the middle, Medivacs just wiped out of the sky, which will free up more supply. I think I heard a recall somewhere. He recalls like 3 carriers to the 3rd. Dude, Special's still maxed out. He's just filling in more Vikings. He's gonna get mass Viking here, a Scandinavia of Vikings. I don't have many more Viking jokes, all right? I need more Viking jokes. Leave some in the it's the something Ragnarok, but he's not in this guy. I can't make those jokes. They're all good. 172 to 200 supply. Special has been maxed out for quite a while. Just brush it off. Just glaze right past it. This game is a mess. I'm losing it over here. Special sends in another group. The Nexus, who could? Wait, pick a target. Okay, goes for the Nexus. He goes for the cannon. Back to the Nexus. That Medivac. What? Where did the Medivac come from? Another set of Medivacs in the main. The cannons aren't done. The Vikings! And he gets the Nexus. Back into the Medivac. The drops. The carrier count is getting very concerningly high. The Vikings are... on their, like, this is a team... It's not a team game. You can't just send the Vikings out on their... Maybe you can. He actually has barely any stalkers. The Vikings are just roaming like they're NPCs right now. He's 30... He's gonna have 30 Vikings. What in the hell? Oh my god, but here come the carriers. I don't know. Well, +3 coming up for the carrier, but the Vikings are trying to target. Knock down one carrier. Remember, they will automatically target the carriers here, if possible. Well, oh, that did not go well. That was not... Yeah, all the Vikings... Yeah, that was not good. Right? Loses 25 Vikings. Wow. Alright, Disruptor. Did Astrea just win? Oh no. Oh.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Wow. Astrea takes it. 3-1 with the carriers. Well, thank you for watching. I apologize for... Well, I don't apologize. I think I had the appropriate amount of coherence to my commentary. I think it matched the tone of the game about as well as it ever could. Though, you know what? Just skip past it. I hope you enjoyed. What did you think? I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you next time. What are we, Jimmy? 1,035 likes? Sure. Thank you for watching. Stay chill.